This monster didn't even know us or our son, but had the audacity to end his life.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about my mother, that you murdered. You don't even have the guts to look this way, do you?
Charles, why don't you look up at us? I'd like to show you what you did to our children. This is their dad in his coffin. How do you like that?
For 16 years, he walked the halls of hospitals, wearing the uniform of trust, a nurse's scrubs. To his patients, he was a caregiver. To his co-workers, a quiet man who kept to himself. But behind that calm exterior, Charles Cullen was carrying out one of the deadliest crime sprees in American history, and nobody stopped him until it was far too late.
Is 40 an arbitrary number?
40 is an estimate. I gave a number between 30 and 40. I think I have identified, most of them.
Look, you pled guilty to murder. But you don't use that word.
I think that I had a lot of trouble accepting that word for a long time. I accept that that's what it is.
Do you consider yourself a serial killer?
I guess it depends upon a person's definition. If it's more than one and it's a pattern, I guess, then yes.
Charles Cullen was born in West Orange, New Jersey in 1960. The youngest of 8 children, he had a troubled childhood marked by loss and instability. By the time he entered nursing school, he seemed to have found his purpose, helping people. Or so it appeared. In 1988, Cullen began working at St. Barnabas Medical Center. At first, there was nothing suspicious until patients who weren't seriously ill began dying suddenly. Over the years, wherever Cullen worked, the same pattern emerged: unexplained deaths, sudden cardiac arrests, and medication records that didn't match the patient's needs. Hospitals suspected something was wrong, but instead of alerting the police, administrators quietly let Cullen go, fearing lawsuits and bad publicity. This allowed him to move from one facility to another, leaving behind a trail of bodies. Some estimate he may have killed over 400 patients, making him the most prolific serial killer in American history. It wasn't until 2003, when Cullen was working at Somerset Medical Center, that a pair of determined nurses noticed the deadly pattern. They contacted law enforcement, who began secretly recording Cullen's conversations. On December 12, 2003, Charles Cullen was arrested. In 2004, Cullen admitted to killing 40 patients, but later suggested the number was far higher. He was sentenced to 11 consecutive life terms without parole. His case led to new laws known as Cullen Laws, requiring hospitals to report suspicious medical staff to authorities immediately. But for many families, the justice came too late. Charles Cullen's story is a grim reminder that evil doesn't always come from the shadows. Sometimes it wears scrubs, carries a chart, and calls itself a caregiver. Subscribe to our channel if you found this article interesting. Crimson Nars tells it as it is.